If we have a snow day, it's really a snow day tomorrow. Of course, that kind of guarantees that we won't get one tomorrow since.
Did I hear that? They said, I have a question. Can I make a sticker that I put it on my notebook?
Yeah, find the area. I will not hesitate.
Jaden, where have you been? I'll make sure you tell me next time.
Gavin, I will unhesitate.
Jaden, lunch or no lunch?
You want her? I know. They're like best friends.
I will without hesitation take anything.
Jaden,
I
Nick, bring this down to me.
I don't know.
You'll be fine. No, not it.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
No, no, no.
Oh. Bring it down to the main office. The main office. Oh, wait, I gotta count the numbers up.
What other office is there though?
You know,
The office.
you know, over by. Dr. Kelly's office.
That's Mr. Traeger's office.
The opposite side of where we go down to the gym.
Lunch, 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 16. Everyone is there. Let's use appropriate language, please. All right, hush, please. Let's get going. All right, any questions on the homework?
Yes. Yes, there is.
That's mine.
Sure. Question, yes. I need everyone to be quiet though, you guys are being too loud. Go ahead, babe.
Number 11.
Let's take a look at number 11. Number 11. I asked for quiet, still don't have it. Number 11 is a shape that looks like a house that's falling on its side. Right? There's two ways of doing this one. One is to realize that it's just two trapezoids. Trapezoid on the top, trapezoid on the bottom. So 2 times the trapezoid formula. You can also tease out that if I do it a different way, that it's a, I don't know if it's a square or rectangle yet, but it's clearly a rectangle plus a triangle. 2 different ways. I'm going to choose, rather than doing 2 different formulas, I'm going to choose one formula. I'm going to use the trapezoid one. So remember, area of a trapezoid is equal to, let's see, it's base 1 plus base 2 times the height, all divided by 2. But since there's 2 of them, when I multiply by 2, guess what happens to that 2? Cancel. So it's really just that formula for that shape. Okay. So let's see what it gives us for information. It says that all the way across right here, I'm going to erase the triangle now. All the way across right here is 17. So there's base 1, 17. It says that all the way across the top is 10. There's base 2. And it says that this distance from here to here is 5. Well, that's the height. So it's just 17 plus 10 times 5. You're done.
Oh, I did 10 plus 5.
5 was not the base, though. 5 was the height.
I took the bottom trapezoid and I turned it and I made it a really long rectangle.
Okay, that will work on this particular one, but it won't always work. You got to be careful. That works because this one's a right trapezoid. Okay. All right. You know, it could turn into. No, that's not true either. Right, so it works on this one as a right trapezoid. Yes. That is number 11.
No, I mean number 12. Sorry.
Number 12 is just 2 rectangles. That's it. Just 2 rectangles. Find 1, multiply by 2. Almost all of these, with the exception of number 9, were 2 of something. All right, Josh, take off the jacket, please. All right. All right, here we go. I need to look at what you drew for questions 1 through 6, but I have the answers for 7 through 12. 7 is 84 square meters. Number 8 is 27 square centimeters. Number 9 is 50 pi square units. It said leave the answer in terms of pi if there's a circle involved. Right, so the only ones that require in terms of pi would be the ones involved in this circle. Right? So that would be 9 and 10. Number 10 is 8 pi square units. Number 11 we just did. What is, that's 27 times 5? What?
135.
27 times 5 is what?
I put down 102.
Do you agree that it's 17 plus 10?
27 times 5.
27 times 5.
Is 135. Yeah.
5 times 7 is 35. Carry your 3. 5 times 2, 10 plus 3, 13. So 135. 135 square units. And number 12 is 252 square units, and that's all we got. All right. Here's what we got going on today. Here's come around and grab your homework. I don't usually do this. This is actually the first year I'm doing this. I find that what typically happens with this chapter is I'll have students that just can't get it through their thick skulls to do 3 things. The first one is to bring a resource card with all the formulas written on it. The second one is to bring a calculator. And the third one is to follow the instructions. And then what happens is I'll get a lot of people that get an F on this easy quiz. And then what will happen is that's their wake-up call, and all of a sudden they say, okay, I guess he wasn't lying. I need to do those 3 things. Let's talk about those 3 things one at a time. Put all the stuff away and listen. Step number 1 is you have to show up with a resource card. So let's talk about the formulas that we know so far. Composite shapes, right? There are no formulas for composite shapes. You make them up for each one. By the way, no composite shapes on the quiz. So what was the first shape we dealt with?
Rectangle.
We dealt with rectangles. What is the formula for area of a rectangle? A equals length times width. If you do not have a resource card, get a piece of paper out right now and make your resource card. Guaranteed, guaranteed. Happens every year. I will have someone show up without the resource card, and then they'll forget, I don't remember the area of a parallelogram, I don't remember the area of a trapezoid. The rest of them, most people do remember. So area of a rectangle. So rectangle, rectangle. Just put on my desk. Here's that. Thank you. Now, no, not yet. Because if they hand that out right now, then people will start working on it and I won't be listening. Okay, what's the next shape? Oh, by the way, rectangle also includes
Perimeter.
rectangle also includes squares, because all squares are rectangles, right? So if you have a correct. If you have a rectangle or a square, it's just length times width. All right, next shape. Somebody? What was the next shape we did?
Triangle.
Before triangles.
Parallelograms.
Parallelograms. Para, 2 L's, LLogram. Formula, A is equal to, see what I mean?
It's
It's only like
base
3
times
days.
height.
Base times height, there we go. Base times height.
Divided by
No, that's triangle. All right, to find the area of a parallelogram, your eyeball, if you want to put an asterisk next to it, your eyeball should look for the little tiny square. The little tiny square will touch the base and it will touch the height. I'm going to give you all the dimensions, left side, right side, top and bottom. For a parallelogram, you don't use the left and the right side if the bottom is the base. You use the dotted line, the height. But look for the little tiny square. Third shape,
triangle.
triangle. It's kind of like a parallelogram. It's half of a parallelogram. So area is equal to, I'll give you the calculator friendly version. What is it?
A equals base times height divided by 2.
And once again, I'm gonna look for the little tiny square. Now, mine are colored red, but yours will be black. And by square, I mean literally right here on this rectangle.
Can I have Macy Jacobson to the office for a moment, please?
She's on her way.
Thanks.
Once again, you're gonna be looking for the little tiny square for triangles and parallelograms. And one more shape.
Circle.
There's no squares on a circle.
Trapezoid.
Trapezoid. 1, 2, 3, 4th one. Trapezoid. Okay, the most complicated. We just did it. What is it?
Base 1 plus
Parentheses, base 1. That's what the 1 means. Plus,
base 2
you talking?
times height
Times the height.
divided by 2.
All divided by 2. Calculator friendly one. Once again, your eyeball is going to find the little tiny square. The little tiny square touches one of the bases. and goes through the other base. It also touches the height. Last but not least, the last shape we did was circles.
Okay.
And the formula for area of a circle is
A equals IR2.
pi r squared. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything we got. Now, we do have perimeter, right? Perimeter is just all the sides added up. I will not ask you for perimeter of the circle, that's circumference.
So we're not doing the composite shapes now.
I'm not going to give you any composite shapes on the quiz. I will on the test. Hey, so what you're about to have in one, what Pierce is about to hand you is a example of what the quiz will look like. Okay, so how many shapes do we have?
4.
4. 5. So how many questions are going to be on the quiz?
20.
There will be 10. 2 of each one. There will be 10 questions on the quiz. I am giving you 27 practice problems. Way more than what will be on the quiz. So all we're doing in this class period is going over this. Okay? All we're doing over this is going over this. Right? I'm not sure why it printed like that. There's a weird thing that's happening on the third page. But you'll figure it out. All right, I did put a couple multiple choice questions in there just so you could get familiar with some multiple choice, but most of them are not multiple choice. There'll be no multiple choice on the test itself, or quiz itself. Sorry, it's just a quiz. I don't know. That's what I was just looking at. All right. So what I would like to do is this. Right? You guys do very horrible work when you're talking, right? So we're not going to talk. We're going to do the work. However, if you have any questions, just holler up, say, hey, I'm getting the wrong answer on number 5. Do number 5. I will do 5 on the board with you. Yes.
We have to put the formula.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There were 3 things. Bring your resource card. Second thing, bring your calculator. Look at these numbers. Everyone, look at the numbers. Okay, number 5 is ridiculously easy. But look at number 2. The numbers are not friendly. They're double-digit numbers and they're all decimals. Yes, you can do it by hand. It's not that big of a deal. It simply takes time, which you will not have on the quiz, right? It's a timed quiz. However, with a calculator, it's just as quick. Whether it's a 2-digit number or a 3-digit number, right? I mean, it's immaterial that it's 3 digits rather than 2 digits because how long does it take you to type in one more digit? You're multiplying, adding, dividing. With a calculator, it's quick, whether it's a 2 or a 4-digit number. So I'm going to put uglier numbers on the quiz. For those of you, and there will be someone that shows up without their calculator. You're doing it by hand. I didn't make horrible ugly numbers. There are no 3-digit numbers here, I don't think. There's 3-digit answers for circles because that involves pi. All right. The only way I can trick you with the circles is by
Diameter.
give you the diameter. Remember, if I give you a diameter, you must first cut the diameter in half to find the radius. 3 things: resource card, calculator, and the third one is the procedure. So I will leave you is this. The procedure is this. You take your eyeballs, you look at question number 1. It's a
Rectangle.
You identify the shape. It's a rectangle. Step number 2, you look at your resource card, you write the formula on the piece of paper. Josh, you're going to write the formula on your paper, yes? Okay. Everyone's going to write the formula without any numbers. Step number 2 is you're going to plug in the numbers. Now, it needs the length and the width. Let's see, the length is 8.9, the width is 5. So I write A is equal to 8.9 times 5. I grab my calculator, I do the math, I write the answer with the units. Units here are miles. So answer number 1 is?
44.5 miles squared.
And you're done. I need to see those 3 things: the formula, the numbers plugged in, and then the answer with the correct units. The reason why I do that is, 1, it gives me the ability to give you some extra point or some points in case you get something wrong, because I can tell that you identified the shape correctly, you used the right formula. You may have even plugged the numbers right. Maybe your problem was using your calculator. I can't give you any credit if you just have an answer and it's wrong. What's up? Sure. Tomorrow, if someone asks, can I get my calculator from my locker, guess what the answer will be?
No.
The answer will be no. If you leave your resource card, be a good friend. I will remind you before the bell rings tomorrow since your first period. But be a good friend to your neighbors and hey, you got a quiz this morning. Remember, you got your calculator, you got your resource card. Any questions to get started? I'm going to give you guys about a 10-minute start, and I'm coming around and looking at your papers unless you have questions. I'm going to inspect to see if you've done those three things. You've written each formula down, you plugged in your numbers, you got your answer with the units. If I check you and you're good to go, then I'm saying you should be good to go for the quiz. Some of you might want to on your resource card, especially maybe for the trapezoid. You may want to put one example. You can take one off of this piece of paper and you can put it on your resource card to remind you what you need to do. Secondly, if there's a problem that I typically see, everybody look at question number 10. If I look at question number 10, or actually number 8 is the one that will get people. Guess what some people see when they see question number 8?
Rectangle?
Some people don't see a rectangle. Some people see a trapezoid there. Is that a trapezoid?
No.
It's not. That's a parallelogram. I understand why you think it's a trapezoid. With the dotted lines, it is a trapezoid. Without the dotted lines, it's a parallelogram. Question number 8 is not a trapezoid. It's a parallelogram. Remember those weird ones that have a big obtuse angle on the parallelogram? They have to draw the height off to the side, hence the dotted lines. That is a parallelogram. The base is 9.2 and the height is 9. Okay. Number 2. All right, what's the shape? Step 1. What's the formula? Say that one more time.
Base plus.
Ah, there's your issue. Okay, so you figured it out. That's perfect. That looks really good. You are checking your answers in the back. And by the way, remember, answers are on the back. Don't take the test with the red. You can do this right now, I don't care, but tomorrow we're not doing it in red. All right, do you want me to leave the formulas up or are we okay? Can I erase?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
No?
no, I haven't.
Yeah.
So, parallel lines, so that means they don't like touch.
That means they will, if you extend them to infinity, they will never touch, yes.
Oh, okay.
Like railroad tracks, if they ever touch,
That's not good.
Then you're screwed.
the train crashes, right?
That'll
That'd be bad.
be.
No, that'll be good for us though, because we'll get.
We literally have an expression in English that you say, when something's really messed up, you say, oh my word, that was a,
Train wreck.
literally, we say that, yeah. What's the length? What's the width? Question.
I didn't know if the width was like goes back.
Okay, we had this conversation at the start, and I said this. In general usage, length goes this way, width goes this way. But here's the issue. If I take that same, if you say that's the length, and I turn it like this, now what's the length and the width? Well, how do you know? That's what I'm saying. So the words length and width don't have very good mathematical meanings. So what I basically say is since it's length times width, multiplication is commutative. Whichever one you want to call the length and width, you're fine for a rectangle, right? But in general common usage, this is length and this is width. I have a pet peeve about length and width.
Let's hear your pet peeve.
Well, it's just that they're not descriptive enough. All I do is take the rectangle and turn it 45 degrees, and then you're like, what's the length and width? Is it always the length of longest dimension? Well, if I wrote you like this, half of you would say that this is your length and that's your width, and that negates that argument. Point being is that the nice thing about the formula is just two numbers multiplied together, and since multiplication is commutative, whichever one you want to call the length is fine by me.
What's the date?
Today is 23rd or 24th? 24.
I need help on number 5.
Nummer 5.
It's really, really hard.
What's the shape?
The track. It's a square.
It is a oh, good. You fell right into that one.
Yes, you.
And I even said that number 5 was ridiculously easy at the start. Yes.
I'm a little confused with number 3. The answer is 6.6, but I keep getting 9.
Then clearly you have done something incorrectly. What's the shape?
It's a parallel,
Malachi, what's the shape?
right? A trapezoid.
So you got to tell me why you see parallelogram. You're saying that these two sides right here are parallel. The definition of parallel is that if you extend them, they never come together. Intersection.
Well, it is a pair. It does.
Say again?
It does have.
That's one pair of parallel sides, one set of parallel sides. Malachi.
On the test, but I did these just in my head before I got there. And this one I wrote it out. Do you want to
Pierce, come here. Take over. His question is what he's done correct or incorrect?
so you want to write the procedure for the benefits. Like that, then you want to write
No.
I mean, number 5 is like the hardest question out of them all.
Number 5 has got a paradox. You know what the paradox is?
1.
What's the perimeter of number 5?
4.
What's the area for?
1.
Right? You would think that area should be larger than perimeter, and it is, except that you're dealing with different units. The area is 1 square unit, or whatever it is. The perimeter is 4, not 4 square units, but 4 units.
Evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you send Kaylin to the office for a moment?
She's on her way.
Thank you.
What is this, girl go to the office day? Who's next?
Me, I'm a girl. Look at me. Look at me.
Hey,
You're missing a.
Just realized he was a girl.
I'm not a doctor, but you're missing a few things.
I mean, how do you know?
That's true. I am making assumptions.
And you have to see his gender.
Not wrong either.
What things are What things are is he missing? Well, one is a brain. But what's the other?
No, he's got a brain. Wait, is 7th grade? Is it physics or is it biology? 7th grade for science.
Well, I think it says regular science.
We did biology.
What are you studying right now?
We get to present. So,
Oh, then you're doing biology.
No, we're doing that.
Right, okay, you're doing lots of things. Well, yeah, there's a formal course, but there's a more general trend of 7th and 8th grade science. It's like of this one flavor. I think one of them's biology, one of them is physics. I forget which.
I think we're doing
I'm already on
biology.
question 22. We're not doing biology.
What are you studying right now, son?
So
That's biology.
That's
Bio meaning
I have our science. That is so
life,
sweet.
right? The study of the science of life. the study of life.
And we have
We're
biology.
learning about cells and how the
Right,
earth
so
works.
it
That's
doesn't, it's not exclusive for the entire year. Right?
We just got looked at
But-
how
So now you're switching to like earth science.
we're not learning about that.
Earth science is the, the study of things on the earth.
Yeah, see, it's not biology.
So what are you studying literally right now?
Oh,
Earth science.
What?
Animals, biology.
We're looking at different subtypes.
Oh, subtypes and domains. So the climates as well? That thing?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about animal subtypes?
I don't know. How about you ask
Kingdom,
them?
Yes.
It's the animal classification.
Yeah, kingdom, file, class, order, genus, species. Right. What's up? Hey, how come you're not doing anything except talking to your neighbors? Come on, let's get some work done. Anyone online that needs help? Anyone online that needs help, speak up.
Is number 3
Number 3 is a trapezoid, yes.
Is number 21 a circle?
No, it's an ellipse.
No, it's a triangle.
Guess what? All circles are ellipses.
Is it a triangle?
Do you know what ellipse is?
No. What's
So
an
the,
ellipsis?
the classic ellipse looks like this, right?
Whoa. Oh, like an
And
oval.
yeah, we would say oval in non-math speak. So ellipse is defined as this shape, and it has 2 parts. You have this part, and you have this part. These are called the axes. The longest one is called the major axis. The short one's called the minor axis.
I said
A-
Earth.
A circle, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. A circle is an ellipse where the major and the minor are, I guess.
It's your one?
A circle is an ellipse where the major and the minor arcs are,
There is no major minor.
well, there is, it's the same. We just say that it's an ellipse where the major and minor axes are equal to each other. The science thing is that this is one of Kepler's laws. Famous astronomer. Kepler said that all planets that go around the sun in an ellipse.
Is that true?
It is. It's one of his, he has these 3 laws. I believe that's law number 1.
Why is this formula with that? Where's that?
Length times width.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I'll take off your jacket. Casey, what's up? It is a quadrilateral, which means, what's quadrilateral? Quad, what? That's tri. Tricycle with a quad.
Four.
What's a quadcycle? It has 4 wheels.
A quad bike.
That's why they literally call those motorized things that have 4 wheels that people ride quads.
Quad bike.
They don't call them quad bikes. They call them ATV quads. They call them quads. You guys are way too young for this, but when they first came out, guess how many wheels they had?
3, and you'd all just fall over and kill yourself.
3, and everyone was killing themselves.
Yeah, 'cause you-
So like, we better put 4 wheels on this sucker.
why would they only have wheels?
I don't know, whoever first came up with ideas, like, this would be cool if we had a motor on it and it wasn't a motorcycle that would fall over. So they made trikes. And then what happened is when you go around a sharp corner on a trike, you would flip.
Wait, this is terrible.
Mr. Chartier.
You still happens with a quad, you still flip it pretty easy, but not as easy as with a trike.
So my dad just brought a new
Imagine that,
Canon.
driving around. What is it, Renegade? Or-
No, it's Renegade.
Oh.
Renegade. And then so, like, he was showing me it, and he's like, and I'm like, wait, what's his features? And it's like, well, it's a sport key, it has its normal key, it has rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, and 4-wheel drive. I'm like,
Is it a 21?
yeah, it's hand grips, it has your special steering, it has gauge voltage modulators, and it has a full screen, and it has everything, and he got snow plowing.
Pierce.
So he's hoping for snow this weekend so he
Yeah,
can use
and,
it.
well, no, you just plowed his driveway, and it's like, it's a freeze with it, but so now whenever I go down, I just rip it down.
Pierce. Is it?
All right, hey, you guys aren't doing anything in the back. Get some work done. All right, let's go back to where we were at the start here with silence so we can get some more work done. I'm noticing that Keegan is on number, but your first 2 are, your second one is done perfectly. Your first one is wrong. Why?
Oh, because.
Yeah, got it.
Can you check mine so far?
That was good. I'm not checking your answer. I'm just checking your procedures to make sure that looks good. That looks good. Okay, so here's my point, Malachi. If you don't practice it right now, guess what's going to happen on the test? You're going to fall back to, I just write the answer. I'm telling you, I'm not giving you credit if you don't write the formula, plug in the numbers, and then write the answer. By the way, it needs to look like that,
Well, it's like the.
besides the handwriting. It's horrible, like mine. Right. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. Yes. Well, I don't know if the answers are right, but the format looks good. And you're gonna fail. Why are you gonna fail? No. Step 1.
On the one ones, me one.
Step 2.
So,
Step 3.
wait, so the answer is.
Oh, you're gonna be step. That's what it needs to look like.
Just look at your answer.
Yes, if you're really squared away, then you're gonna highlight most of that crazy. But if you have to write this, you have to write that. And I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know. That's not even my answer.
It's not that much more work.
Squares and reptiles, ignore can't just follow the
Because
Maybe they're
these
saying that-
sides never touch,
No, it's a rhombus.
right? So therefore, it can't be.
Oh my god.
Notice.
I like
Until the next adventure.
What's the shape?
I've spent my childhood watching you, Gabby Gabba. Yo, Gabby Gabba.
Yo Gabby Gabba was such a good show. It's what is Chris?
I spent my childhood watching and then it's so true that
I was obsessed with that show when I was a kid.
the one movie the one movie was so successful. I watched it every time I saw it. Make that time. Don't watch it. No, that's not.
This is pain. I'm just gonna sit for
Are you sure about that?
Longtime best friend thought he was good, and then I'm going close.
For whatever reason, it's still here.
I see step two.
You didn't do it. Yeah, I know. You failed.
Right now, so you don't forget. Laura, look at your formula. Where's your research work?
I thought I was eating.
I know it is. Now, what do you have for trying?
And then you can.
Oh, look at that.
Wait, this is
Question three.
Wait.
6.7.
Well,
One second. Guess what? Step one is what? On every problem. On every problem, step one is what? You have step two, step three. So what's step one? Right? Let's do this one together. Let's do shape. Now, step one, right form the page. No numbers. You simply write form. Where's the girl over right here? Step one. Now you step one. Write A equals. What's the base? What's the height?
with the chicken. I used to watch that, but now I can't stand the song. Hey,
I know, but I'm saying you got it all right here. The only thing that was missing there is the only thing you're missing is that step right there. Make sure you finish. Oh, look at you. You're the one I was worried about. What do you mean? So all I'm gonna do is rewrite this, and when I come to a letter, I'm gonna plug in the number. Okay.
Papa Chocolate milk.
I'm just gonna rewrite this whole thing when I get to the letter, I'm gonna plug in a number. What's base one? Alright. Plus, base two is, here you go, you've got one.
Macaroni with my chicken strips.
Be there in a second. All right. Time's the high. What's the high?
I'm really
All over.
Your eyes.
There you go. So that's what he's plugging. Now we sit down and
I keep getting bullied at school. Like Papa Chocolate milk. Strawberry milk.
Keegan, come on.
I like one from that.
That's the shape. You have the formula written correctly. Now let's just plug in the numbers. So A equals, just put A equals. All we're doing now is we're plugging in the numbers, which you did in one of these. So you got step one, you got step three, you're missing step two. Step two is where we plug in the numbers. Step three is when we grab the calculator. Okay, open parentheses. Base one is what? Okay, right there. Plus, base two is, yep. Close your parentheses. All I'm doing is looking at what you wrote above. It says times the height. What's the height? Okay, so 3. All over. See the fraction bar? All over. What? Now we grab the calculator, we type that in exactly the way it appears. First thing you see is an open parentheses. Open parentheses. 3 plus 1.4. Close parentheses. Times 3. Divided by 2. Right answer? So you did step 1, step 3, you were just missing step 2. All right, here's finally up to you. What's up? All right, hey, if you're having an argument about math, that's fine. The rest of you need to get back to work. All right, now get back to work.
But I have a question. When we're done, remember, like, all of us are done, maybe so.
No, your steps are very sloppy, and I only see 2 of them. There's 3 of them. What are the 3 steps? Okay, and I also want to see A. On all of them. All right, step number 2 is now we plug in the numbers. Like, that way it allows me when you do this, and you write the numbers in correctly, and you still give you a point for plugging in the numbers correctly. Make sure you do that.
Just imagine. Same question. Let's see here.
Step 1.
He's a player.
Don't stick with the right. Let's just stick with your peers.
Now, based on
I gotta go. Sure.
Why are you eavesdropping? Eavesdropping.
People said it's okay.
May I ask you, if you had good hearing? Yeah.
Here's our question. Big shot, yes. Here's what Jaden, like your
It was just Gavin, yeah.
Look,
Biology.
make sure your resource part is solidly made. I would absolutely, I'm sure you didn't get everyone right the first time. The ones that you got wrong, I'm saying put a note to yourself here about the one that you got wrong. Maybe write it in here, like where you put that example, so that you don't screw it up. What's the shape? It is a triangle. So A equals. Now put it somewhere where you're not going to forget it, because I seem to remember you were the one 2 tests ago that forgot something, or was it last test?
And we couldn't get calculators, but then he felt so and gave us calculators.
Yes, I did. Well, it was only because the other class. If the other class had forgotten something, nobody would have gotten one. But since they did, I was like, I can't have one class. Have one class. Hey, work. All right, let's go. Malachi, you were arguing earlier, so nothing.
Mr. Chartier, I hope you're
Gotta
happy.
get them apples.
I'm getting tired of this. No.
No, get your work done. Get your work done. I'm not playing that. What are you doing? Playing musical chairs back?
Wait.
Who's talking? Girls? Really? I didn't even know they could talk. Haley hasn't talked the entire year.
That must be sad.
She's a good girl.
No.
Oh, I know she's good.
Stop blaming her.
Oh, Macy, are you talking when talking?
What kind of bending?
Here, Ben.
It sounds like
Why don't you play that dog? Like the rest of us.
Wow.
You're asking really you can- You're in England?
Oh man, I circled A and C.
I want to be then.
I got the
I'll
first
do
one.
anything
I got the
Catholic.
second one.
You want
Let's
the
look
right
at
one?
I'm not. Wait, I know. I'd rather be mad.
The first. The first. Disgusting.
Reason I hate babies.
Enough question. Why do you hate your own daughter?
I'm gonna stab you in the chest. Gavin, I will. I hesitate. Hitting you in the face.
Okay, before I go, I need to issue it. Why not?
What's the fact? Jasper, did you check the use of that?
Yo, don't know. That is bull. That's bull. It's
I thought not having like having a buzz cut once and then
yeah, that's what I did. Okay. Ace. Ace. Oh, I remember.
This is my coping mechanism.
Picture Keegan.
Tennis ball against the wall. Tennis ball.
Fails.
Keegan's haircut.
Ace. Ace. That's gonna go back. Here. I remember what you're wrong.
Tennis, I know what I against the wall.
Then we'll get to
Really? Seven. In third grade, you were bald?
Yes. I was bald last year. Once I restart the channel, I should just make a video called Bald. Just like,
You know the.
oh, the what thing? It's your calculator, Ace. Yeah, the what? How? Your calculator on going to show you that you have a calculator.
Okay.
See your calculator.
To your brain, okay, that's what you're
Gavin, I need help. Can you help me, Gavin? And then just go.
The help you need.
It's his cellular.
No, Nick, don't help her. She's a woman.
No. I got fired from the library today. The fiction section.
I got fired from my job at the bank.
This is what's gonna happen.
I got fired from the new library. I got fired from my library. I walked in straight books in the fiction section. And then, every time I get sick, I just start for hours. I got fired again. From another one. I was down like the woman is no, that was my sister.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna name this video my first start video saying creation. That's the video. And it's gonna have brush light shit shooting in the brush light. And I'm gonna do explosion with the K. Yeah, that's gonna be all. That's another video.
Well, you should have a second one.
Keegan,
This is right here.
you're not using your time watch. Which one are we trying to do? You're literally just gonna type in, here's the base is 11.5, so times the height, what's the
Someone
height?
just commented the name Verify. I would just pin the
Where, why is 5.3 the height?
to this guy.
Oh, no, 3.2.
There you go.
Shout out.
Yeah.
He says his phone in his pocket. Nickelodeon.
Okay, so put the phone in your locker.
Want it?
No,
Take it to the office.
that's too much work.
We pulled out Mrs. MS phone case, and she's like, "Is that your phone? You better bring it up here right now." She got all mad, and I handed it to her, and she's like, "Really?" She's like, "You got my hopes up." She's like, "I was even going on another rampage."
Oh no.
Wow.
He's erasing to write my name on death row. No, there's a warning list, there's a detention list, and then there's a death row.
Why is it called death row?
Because for death because they
Why is it called death row?
because they killed them with death.
Why is it called death row?
Because you die in a row of people.
I'm questioning.
Row of people that have been condemned to death.
That guy.
Do you want to hear a story about the happiest man on
So on this one, it says the answer is everything, but that plus that is
Okay. What's the definition of height? What's the definition of height?
No, okay, this
The
is
distance
the
between,
plan. Name is creation.
no, the height is the height. The distance between Distance between the two parallel sides. And which are the two parallel sides? So what's the height?
Yeah, that's it's gonna be named Bolt.
You put 2.6.
So you would multiply this, right?
You just put a 2 instead of a 2.7, and then you do what it says right there. Add the 2, multiply, and then divide. All right, Malachi. Malachi. Wait, that's not Malachi. Sorry, Malachi. Bo.
Then it's gonna be the
TV show about that.
I swear, you gotta get the calculator.
Come on. This was, I had this character for a long time. It's a good one.
Hey, he's throwing up.
All right, e-learners, we're going to stop it right there. Anyone online right now? No, there is not. We will take the quiz tomorrow. That's the only thing we're doing tomorrow. The quiz will be posted by 7:30 in the morning. See ya on Friday. By the way, e-learners, if we have a snow day tomorrow, we will not do e-learning. We will have an actual snow day.
I don't see anybody on there.